Hey everyone, and welcome back for what should be episode 6 of Expanded Empires, but it happens to be episode 5. I do apologise, we had some issues last week that prevented it from going out. I'll do my best to make sure that doesn't happen again, but thank you very much for coming and sticking with us. As always, my name is Aarron and I'm your host. I'm a member of the team 6++. We have lots of content like this that is available to you on our channel. We've got the weekly podcast that goes out. We have Tom with his List Doctor and Gene Stealers That Came From Below. We have It's Swissly with the Bug Watch. And we also have Ed with the UKTC and me. So please go and check out those other videos and like and subscribe to the channel. This week we have 2 high-performing towel lists for you and 2 to look at for the week ahead. It's a shame we didn't get last week's because one of the ones we did pick out did actually go ahead and perform well, as we've seen here, and we had a bit of a pattern with Borkham, but I'm sure that will come up again in the future so we can keep speaking to it. Without further ado, let's go on to the first list. So first up we have Williamabellez at Frontline Gaming at the Rocky Mountain Open. This was in the US. It was 152 players over 6 rounds. William chose Fast Attack as his compulsory type and took Taucept. Now, William done amazing in this event. 152 players, ended up coming third with a 5-1. Congratulations to you. Really good to see. It definitely seems like we are starting to find some patterns in the matrix to get the right sort of list together for the right sort of meta. So it shows that even though our win percentages aren't massively up there, they're still viable, and it's still a good pick for any tournament. So starting us off, we have the new hotness that we keep seeing, which is the no Force Org slot for a Recruit Shaper with the advanced EM Scrambler. And that's it, just bare bones, only 25 points to have that no Deep Strike open 12, just sat on your back objective. I think this is a great innovation, and I'm surprised we didn't see this sooner, but then I didn't see it either. But once you see it, hindsight's perfect, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's a really great addition. In the HQ slots, we've got Commander in Cold-Star Battlesuit. This fella has the Precision of the Hunter, High Output Pulse Cannon, the Honor Gauntlet, 2 Plasma Rifles, and then the Thermoneutronic Projector. It's also accompanied by 2 Shield Drones. We have an Ethereal with Exemplar of the Kayun, Zephyr's Grace and Wisdom of the Guides on a hover drone to get around. We then got Long Strike, who's been upgraded with 2 Seeker missiles and 2 accelerated burst cannons. I like this a lot, especially with the Seeker missiles, because obviously Long Strike's already hitting on a 3, making it hit on a 2, and also gives the ability out to another unit as well. So yeah, a really strong HQ section here. Then in the troops, we have 1 breach team, 1 unit of crew, and then 2 strike teams. Much more troops than we've been sort of really seeing recently. So interesting to see if this is going to try and push more onto the primary game than normal, instead of just trying to wipe people off the board first. But it's interesting to see there's still all these variances within the list, and there's still so much to play for and build from the actual codex itself. Moving on to the elites, we have Ghost Kill Battlesuit, the best miniature in the range, in my opinion, and it's really nice to see it out there. This one's armed with 2 Fusion Blasters, Early Boarding Override, and the Fusion Collider. So it looks like this is going in hard, trying to take out tanks, etc., and get up in their grill. So very nice to see. We then have a unit of 3 Stealth Battlesuits. The Shazray has got a Fusion Blaster, the other 2 have got Burst Cannons, bare bones apart from that. Good for getting a bit behind enemy lines, engaged, and just being a general nuisance and being able to clear quite a lot of chaff out as well. In the Fast Attack slot, we've got your obligatory Recruit Hounds, only 2 units this time. We then have a unit of 10 Pathfinders, and this is 7 normal Pathfinders, including the Suzu, and then 3 Pathfinders with rail rifles. So a little bit of extra punch there as well. We then have 2 Piranhas, both of the Fusion Blasters. Now, I'm guessing, well, another, again, very good anti-tank unit here, and just another unit to zip in for behind enemy lines, and the ability to get engaged as well with a cheaper unit that takes enough input to actually get rid of. Then following that up in heavy support, we've got a single Riptide Battlesuit with Early Warning Override, Iron Accelerator, double Plasma Rifle, Target Lock, Velocity Tracker. So the very normal standard loadout. Then And this is why William is a hero. And William was actually one of my choices last week for looking ahead. So I'm very happy that I picked him, and congratulations to him again. But yes, this is why I picked him originally, is he's still got 2 Sunshot Bombers in there. I've been using 2 Sunshot Bombers myself, and I've really enjoyed it. But look, they're so efficient. Why not? It's obviously worked for William this turn. And then following that, we have 2 Devilfish. So I'm presuming we're going to have a Breach team in one and probably the Pathfinders in the other. And then the amazingness of this list is it's got a Tidewall gun rig. Yep, you got that right. It has got a fortification. And this is on the Supremacy Rail gun, which is like a slightly dialed down version. I think it's heavy 2, strength 12, D3 plus 3 damage, and then every successful wound is D3 mortal wounds. But when did we last see any army take an actual fortification? It's not very often we see that, so that's wonderful to see, and it worked really well. Guessing there's going to be a unit of strike warriors on there, just moving it along, because obviously the Tidewall can move 8 inches with fly if they perform an action in the movement phase. Doesn't stop them from shooting. It's a very, very interesting twist there, and look, everything works, even if you say the stars aligned, etc. But look, there's enough nuances here and toolboxes in this actual list. Because look, one thing that's quite a big surprise of late is it hasn't got any crisis battlesuits. When was the last time we saw a list going to a tournament doing more about crisis battlesuits? I couldn't tell you. But look, this is an amazing list. Very, very cool. Well done, William. Hats off to you. As I said, went 5-1 and came 3rd overall. So an absolutely brilliant result. Next up, we have Donald Plummer, who was at Rosehammer in the US. This was 95 players over 6 rounds. The Arcs of Omen compulsory type was fast attack, and the Sept choice was Tau Sept. Again, I wonder if these 2 have been talking a little bit, because again, we've got the Recruit Shaper in the No Force Org slot with the Advanced DM Scrambler. Following that up in the HQ, we've got quite a hefty slot here. We've got Anva, who's obviously the souped up ethereal that's got the can do 3 different invocations and has the 2 ethereal guards to try and keep him a bit safer and makes him a little bit punchier in melee. So if you're going to go after him, you've got to actually put something half decent into him. Following that up, we've got the Commander in Crisis Battlesuit, Precision of the Hunter, 2 Cyclic Iron Blasters, Iridium Battlesuit, a Plasma Rifle, the Thermoneutronic Projector, the Begal Hunter's Plate, and the 2 Marker Drones. I like this loadout. I'm very much getting on board with this whole Crisis Battlesuit Precision of the Hunter. Being able to take the cyclics is very, very nice. Obviously, it's not quite as fast, but as long as you keep him moving along with your Crisis block, I don't see an issue there. Following out, we have Commander Shadow Sun, has a personal Warlord trait of Exemplar of the Cone. This time, it's kitted out with 2 high energy fusion blasters, and it's the Warlord. Then we have Long Strike, upgraded with the Accelerated Burst Cannon, 2 Seeker Missiles, and the 3 Boldness Victory. So a full set out there, fully kitted out characters. And then in the troop section, we just have a single unit of Recruit Carnivores, nothing else. Potentially it's creeping out a bit, or maybe they'll just be sitting back holding the home objective with the Recruit Shaper. Moving on to elites, we've got a unit of 5 Crisis Battlesuits. We have 4 standard Shizou with Burst Cannon, Cyclic Iron Blaster, Plasma Rifle, and Target Lock. And then the Shazray's got a Burst Cannon, Cyclic Iron Blaster, Plasma Rifle, Iridium Battlesuit, a Shield Generator, and Stim Injectors. The unit is then backed up by 3 Shield Drones. Again, pretty standard loadout here for the Crisis Battlesuits. Going to be reasonably able to tank decent amount of incoming damage with the 3 Shield Drones, and then also the Shazray with the Iridium Battlesuit, Shield Generator, and Stim Injectors for that 4++. We then have Stealth Suits, just a standard unit of 3, all with burst cannons. In Fast Attack, we've got 2 units of Recruit Hounds and a Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is 9 standard Pathfinders, and then the 3 Pathfinders with the rail rifles. The extra bits here is we've got the Pulse Accelerated Drone and the Recon Drone here. They're just going to go around. They've got their great strat that allows them to move again after they've done their marker lights, but it's 7 marker lights going off on 2s, which is going to be pretty important. There's not a huge amount else in here. So I think that'll be good to see. And we're seeing a lot more success from the lists that are using the Pathfinders. I haven't been using them myself. I've just not been teching into them that much, but it seems a bit silly not to try them when we're seeing these results coming through. In heavy support, we've got 2 Riptide battlesuits, standard loadout of the double plasma, ion accelerator, multi-tracker, target lock, and velocity tracker. And then finishing off the list, we've got a Devilfish with 2 gun drones. Not a great, just pretty basic, and obviously that's going to have the Pathfinders in there to hop out and do that action. Donald done very, very well as well. Came 14th, going 4-2 overall. Another big event with a great result. So well done to you, Donald. Overall, this is one of the more impressive weekends we've had in this season, I feel, for the results from the Tau. Having some very good finishes and very large events as well. So I think we are starting to find our feet, which is nice to see. It gives all of us hope, even myself. Now, going on to the list that we've got coming up for the next weekend, the first one we have is Mario Dominguez at the Iberian Open Talavera in Spain. This is 92 players over 5 rounds. And the compulsory type is elites, and the set choice is Farsight Enclaves. The HQ sets in this list is the Cadre Fireblade with the Pure Tide Engram Neurotrip, Commander Firesight with the Zempler of the Montcar, the Commander in Cold Star with Precision of the Hunter, Burst Cannon, Onaga Gauntlet, Plasma Rifle, Shield Generator, and a Thermoneutronic Projector. So again, with a really chunked up combat commander here, backing that up with Farsight, it's really nice to have the double punch. And having the Onaga Gauntlet on the Cold Star allows you to go after some bigger targets or some vehicles that take a bit more high strength to get the damage through and not rely on the re-rolling of the Thermoneutronic Projector. We then have the Creep Shaper again with the Advanced GM Scrambler. Seems to be a staple. It seems to, this is what we've found is going to work. Like all these lists seem to have it. It doesn't seem like you can go wrong for 25 points. In the troop section, we have 2 Breachers teams. Then in the elites, we've got quite a hefty elite section here. We've got a unit of 5 crisis battlesuits. 4 of them just the standard Shazoos with Cyclic Ion Blaster, Fusion Blaster, and Plasma Rifle, and a Shield Generator. And then the Shazray's got the same loadout, but has a Stim Injectors and a Marker Drone, and then a Marker Drone and 3 Shield Drones included as well. A standard sort of crisis bomb that we're seeing. Slight difference with the loadout having the Fusion Blasters. I wonder if they are expecting a more tank heavy or vehicle heavy meta on their side of things, but again, nice to see it still going. We've then got another beautiful Ghost Kill battlesuit, this one with 2 Flamers and then the Cyclic Iron Raker. Continuing on the elites, we have another unit of crisis battlesuits. We have and this is going to be a bit of a mouthful because they're all individually spec'd out, but we've got 1 crisis suit with Burst Cannon, Cyclic Iron, Shield Generator, and Flamer. We have another one with Burst Cannon, Cyclic Iron Blaster, Early Warning Override, and a Tau Flamer. And then we have the Shazray with Burst Cannon, Cyclic Iron Blaster, Shield Generator, Tau Flamer, and then 2 Marker Drones on the unit as well. This looks a bit more like a unit that's going to be getting up in their face. So I'm intrigued as to why Mario's decided to go for Marker Drones over Shield Drones. Maybe it's a bit of a points thing, or maybe Mario's looking to disembark them earlier on in the game, because obviously if this unit is going to be rushing forward to get into close range to use its weaponry, then it's not going to be able to really effectively use its Marker Drones very well. Moving on, we've got the Stealth Battlesuits. Homing Beacon, again, this could be pointing towards that smaller unit of Crisis Battlesuits above. And again, what adds to the reason of why would you put the Marker Drones on there. But that's what's been done. I'll be interested to see how this goes. And then as well as the Homing Beacon, there is a 5 total Stealth Battlesuits, all with Burst Cannons, and then we have a Shield Drone as well. So pumped up to 6 in case we want to do retrieve battlefield data. So maybe trying to tech into that a little bit more. We've also got the 2 Breach teams that could pop out and do that too. In Fast Attack, we have a single unit of Brute Hounds, followed up in heavy support by a single Riptide Battlesuit with the standard double plasma, but then this time around it's gone for a heavy burst cannon, multi-tracker, target lock, and velocity tracker. Potentially looking at maybe a bit more of a marine heavy metal, not as many tanks. But then looking at the other side of things, we had the fusion blasters that sort of leans towards potentially there is more tanks. But whatever the choice, they've gone for the heavy burst cannon here, which is very different to what we normally see. We normally see the emphasis put on the cyclic iron. But I like the heavy burst cannon into marine heavy metal. I think it does very, very well. And then finishing off the list is in the dedicated transport, there's 2 devilfish for those breach teams to go in for, and either aggressively try and deny primary, hop out and do Aarron retrieve battlefield data, or even go after the aerospace relays. So that really interesting list overall for Mario. Some like little nuances here and there that are very interesting. I'm enjoying managing to find some of the different events around the globe to show the slight differences in the metas, etc. And Mario, all the best to you for the event this weekend. I hope you do very well, and I hope I get to mention you in next week's show. The final list for the week will be Andrew Pearce at Warzone Wellington 2 in New Zealand. This is a 32-player event over 5 rounds. Andrew has gone for compulsory type of elites and set choice of Tau Sept. In the HQ slot, we have a commander in cold sword battlesuit with precision of the hunter, the advanced burst cannon, the high output burst cannon, a missile pod, a plasma rifle, and a solid image projection unit, along with a mark drone. This is a very intense output commander. As you can see here, there's 20 shots or 18 shots off the 2 burst cannons, another 2 off the missile and the plasma. It's going to be able to chew for a lot of chaff, and even elite infantry. They've all got the -1 on there to -2 and -3. So I like this commander quite a lot, and it's something that I'd be looking to take in the future, having that advanced burst cannon on there as well to make the most of the extra shots. We then have Commander Shadow Sun with the Wall of Trait exemplar of the Cayenne, 2 high energy fusion blasters. We have an Ethereal with Sense of Stone, Zephyr's Grace, the Humble Stave to make sure those invocations go off on a 2-up, and 2 marker drones too. And finishing off the HQs, you have Long Strike with a railgun, 1 Seeker missile, and then just the standard gun drones on the wings. Troops, we've got 2 strike teams. I've been using strike teams a lot. As much as I get the aggression with the breaches, the long range, I'm not as big of the shorter range. I'm not as big of a fan of, and I'd like to put my points elsewhere than just into the devilfish to try and get them into combat. And I'm really starting to appreciate the strike team and their actual rapid fire, getting 20 shots off at. If you use the strat AP2 Strength 5, I think it's actually very good for going through some of the more elite infantry and even some of the smaller vehicles. So I've been very impressed with them overall. We then in the elites have a nice big block of Crisis. This one again, quite a mixture of the loadouts. So I will read them all through for you. We've got a Shazoo with Cyclic Iron, Iridium Battlesuit, Missile Pod, Plasma Rifle, a Shield Generator. We then have 2 more Shazoo with Cyclic Iron Blasters, Missile Pods, and Plasma Rifles and Shield Generators. We then have another Shazoo with a Cyclic Iron Blaster, Early Warden Override, Missile Pod, Plasma Rifle. And then the Shazray has a Cyclic Iron Blaster, Missile Pod, Plasma Rifle, Shield Generator, and the Stim Injectors. And then the unit is accompanied by a Mark Drone and 4 Shield Drones. So a real heavy hitting and very robust Crisis Blob here. But that's not it. You thought that might be it, but no, there's another unit. There's almost 1,000 points in Crisis Battlesuits in this list. This second one has a Shazoo with Cyclic Iron, Iridium Battlesuit, Missile Pod, Plasma Rifle, and a Shield Generator. Then it has 3 more with Cyclic Iron Blasters, Missile Pods, Plasma Rifles, and Shield Generators. And then the Shazray's got an Airburst and Fragmentation Projector that's been upgraded to the Dominator Fragmentation Launcher, the Early Warden Override, a Plasma Rifle, a Cyclic Iron Blaster. And then again, the unit is accompanied by a Mark Drone and 4 Shield Drones. So this isn't anything to be sniffed at either, and is going to hit just as hard and be almost as difficult to shift. Following that up, we have a unit of Stealth Suits, just a unit of 3 with a homing beacon. So one of those units is no doubt going to pop down and absolutely annihilate someone with the reroll to hit strap. And then finishing off the list in heavy support, we have a Hammerhead gunship with just the railgun and the standard gun drone pods. Again, it's very cool to see. This is again a slightly different way of taking the list from another different country. So there's all these nuances to the metas across the globe, which is really interesting to see. And it's nice to see we're starting to pick out some unique lists that are actually doing well at events and getting some results. The week before last, obviously, the list that didn't come out and the show that messed up, we actually had the first 6-0 that I've seen, and the person in question got second at their event, and it was a big event as well. So we're starting to see these things come through. I think it's starting to gel and come together for us overall. So that I do apologize again for last week. I'll try my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. And look, if you've got any comments or opinions, etc., please put them down. Be gentle to us. We're new. We're starting out. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.